3.
I don't get kicked out this time. All right. Welcome once again, everyone. Welcome back to Football Fan Talk. I am your humble host, Big G.
That's your boy, spear chucking 360 degrees basketball dunking.
Raider Lady 19 in the building once again.
Yeah, and your buddy Young Architect Man back at it again.
Indeed.
You know, I got
to quote that great actor Samuel L. Jackson, I hate to be the nigga to tell you I told you so, but tonight I'm gonna be the nigga to say I told you so. Everyone went 1-1 last week except for me. I went 2-0.
No, I think I went on 2.
I thought I went 2-0. I know. Wait,
Yeah.
I took the Niners?
No. You took everybody took whatchamacallit to beat everybody took the Bengals. I took
okay.
Yeah, I took the Chiefs and I took the Eagles.
I just didn't think that the Chiefs got some help though by the refs.
Yeah, they gonna dig into that. We're gonna dig into that. But my thought process behind that is just like the whole tidal wave of everyone was just supplanting the Bengals to the Super Bowl. Usually when that happens, the opposite happens. And believe me, going into making our picks, I was gonna pick the Bengals too. If I talk offline to any of you, I was just like, yeah, Burrow is 3-0 versus Mahomes. They're going to get him again and blah, blah, blah. But after just hearing everybody, the whole ESPN, everybody just had the Bengals beating the Chiefs. I was like, you know what? The Chiefs are hearing this too. So, with that being said, enough of me gloating. I'll let you guys give me your synopsis of the games. First, let's attack the 49ers-Eagles game. Raider Lady, what did you think of that game?
Well, I'm putting my hater hat on. No, it really went with how I expected it outside of the injuries. Like for real, it was total domination up front. And I mean, they have 4 players with 10 plus sacks or more. 4, in their rotation. And as good as everybody likes to talk up their left tackle, they don't talk about the other McGlinchey and all them. The rest of those guys are like suspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, this is why Shanahan's offense is based on a lot of quick motion, quick hitters, and all that, because they don't want to be hot under pressure. I mean, they get the ball out real fast, and I just call it like it is. Their defensive, it was a great defensive call. How they were bringing pressure, just confusing the San Francisco offensive players. I seen a tight end miss blocks. I seen he created so many mismatches is what I'm saying up front, and they were able to exploit it and get some hits on the quarterback. It was literally back to back, the same type of play, and where the defensive end split the tight end and the wide receiver when he had to do a pin down block. He split the both of them, pow, got big hits. Purdy got his elbow hit and knocked out Josh Johnson. Literally the same play. I said, wow. So they knew, they read Shanahan, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give up. I don't even know who their defensive coordinator is. I can't think off the top of my head who their coordinator is, but he called a masterful game. I don't think they would have won that game even if Purdy was healthy.
Yeah,
Purdy,
I'm with you on that.
I don't think they win that ball game just because of the mismatches you created on the defensive side, and they were hyper aggressive. So that was my biggest take from that game. Just the chess game, and it wasn't even close.
I never heard of the Eagles defensive coordinator. His name was Jonathan Gannon. I never heard of him before.
Me neither.
I know that Gannon. That ain't Rich Gannon. He ain't him, is
he? Called the game though.
I said, yeah, he sure did.
Call the hell of a game.
Yeah, Raider Mike. I know you love to talk bad about the Niners. So.
No, I ain't even. You know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. 49ers had a good season. They had 3 or 4 different quarterbacks. They brought a quarterback off the street start. He got knocked out the game. That's bad luck. You just brought Josh Johnson off how many weeks ago when they brought him off the street at home, and then he got knocked out the game. This was just like I said. Another thing, it wasn't that defensive line did their job. Another thing why the 49ers didn't do anything, they stopped the run. They didn't only just put pressure on the quarterback, they stopped the run, and they just shut them 49ers offense down. Even like Lady Raider said, 19 said that it wouldn't matter if Purdy would have played because he's going to be unpurdy because they was coming. You know, it didn't really matter, I don't think. And the Eagles had the best offensive line in football, and they showed it because they manhandled that front seven. They manhandled them. Yeah. I mean, I know the offense got them defense tired, but they got handled. I ain't seen the 49ers front get handled like that. They got handled.
Hey, I think Dallas laid that blueprint out there, man.
Yeah, Dallas handled it pretty good too, but that's what I'm saying. But they put it out there, and then Philly just kind of say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put pressure on them, just like Dallas did, but we're going to put a little bit more.
Yeah.
We're going to keep the pressure on all game, and I just think that Shanahan, they didn't have an answer for it. Once the quarterbacks is out, they could. They just running the ball to survive to get out the game at the end. That was sad. That was kind of sad to see, really, because I really wanted to see a dog fight. I wanted to see 49ers at their best. Yeah. And want to see the Eagles at their best. But I still say, even with the 49ers at their best with the offense, if Purdy would have stayed, he was gonna be roughed up the whole game. And there's no excuses. They can't make an excuse about the call. One call. What about Devontae Smith's catch? It's too late. Too bad. They didn't catch it. That ain't why you guys lost. I keep hearing that from some of these fans, and I was telling this neighbor, I said, no, you're not gonna get that one. That's on them for they got jumped on the ball like they were supposed to and ran the next play.
Yeah.
So my thing, I'm impressed with the Eagles. I'm impressed with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts didn't have to do nothing but throw he was 15 to 25 for 125 yards, 125 yards, something like that. No touchdowns. All he did was strike fear in the defense with that damn read option. They were so feared of him running, forgot about them running backs scoring them touchdowns untouched. So I tip my cap to the Eagles. I'll have to give it to them though. They gave the 49ers ass. I'm sorry, Tito. I know they're in your boys, but they got the ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? But they had a great season. Great season, but it's over.
Yeah. All right, Architect. More of the same.
Yeah, man. The Eagles defense is no joke, man. Yeah, obviously y'all are very intellectual. Y'all heard of Murphy's Law, right? What can happen will happen, but when everything bad happened, they could do all that good stuff. It was just a series of unfortunate events for the Niners, man. I mean, Brock Purdy getting knocked out early. Them not being able to capitalize on Devontae not catching that thing, albeit it reminded me of Dez caught it.
Yeah.
You know what
don't
I'm
remind
saying?
Me of
that. Don't mean that.
But losing both third and fourth string quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, and such a monumental game, I remember I was watching that game. I remember them saying that they would bring in Christian McCaffrey as like a wildcat quarterback. And I was genuinely excited to see that because I knew Brock Purdy couldn't throw the ball. And I was going back and forth with some of my friends who was
I'm doing this thing.
who are Niner fans, and I was like, well, when I saw Brock Purdy come back in the game, and all he was doing was handing the ball off and throwing it maybe 3 yards, I was like, look, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I get it. He's hurt. He may not be able to feel that thing. But with everything on the line, I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying to throw the ball like until my arms fall off completely. If I'm coming back in the game, that's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? I get it. They may not have. And then at the end of the game, they were like, oh, Purdy couldn't throw the ball. I'm sorry. Then y'all should have just ran Christian McCaffrey at quarterback, if we're being honest. If that's the case, and that magnitude of a game, yes, I understand that you want your quarterback back there. But if literally what he needs to do, he cannot do, then by all means, you know what I'm saying, go, part of that whole Belichick mindset, next man up mentality. Like if you think Christian McCaffrey could have done anything better, I wholeheartedly think they should have went with that, which I thought they should have did, or at least tried it. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles just capitalized on everything that on all the Niners' downfall, man. And with that being said, yeah, the Eagles are a well-rounded, all-around team. I mean, shit. Going into it, yeah, I thought the Niners were going to win. Albeit because that defense was going to be able to, hunker down on Jalen Smith just a little bit. But even still, like alluding to what Raider Lady said, you have 4 players with 10 plus sacks. Like, that's kind of, now looking back at it, I'm like, damn, like I should have just took the Eagles straight flat out. But you know what I'm saying? Big props to the Niners for even trying to stay in the game. I like it was good to see Josh Johnson in there saying that he, Bay Area dude, you feel what I'm saying? But shit, man. Better luck next year, Niner gang.
It's not bang bang Niner gang. It's called fly fly Eagles, man.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, all I got is more of the same. I mean, I felt like the Cowboys left a lot out there. I think they should have won it. If Dak would have had any type of just a steady game, just not turn the ball over twice, man, and hit maybe one of those big 3 throws that he missed, the Cowboys would have walked out of there to win. So I just felt like the Eagles were a shoo-in. I was not worried about that game when we made our picks. I thought that was my most confident pick of the 2. And Eagles is better across the board. The media and local media and national media was making it seem like the Niners were just juggernauts. If you listen to them, the Niners were like the Patriots with Randy Moss and freaking, mixed with the Ravens with Ray Lewis defense. It was too much for me. And I was just like, nobody's really breaking this down and looking at the fact that the Eagles, like we said, they got that defensive line, they have that secondary, and I just thought Purdy was going to get exposed going on the road in Philly, hostile crowd, and but I did not think that D-line would dominate the way it did. I thought it would be more of a dogfight. It looked like the Niners laid down a little bit, man, especially after Purdy got hurt. You can look at the faces when they panned on the TV of all the teammates. They were like, we're done. You know what I mean? It's funny though, because they panned, you see all the teammates, everybody looking sad except one person was smiling on the sideline. Oh, sweet Jimmy G.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
He was smiling, but guess what, y'all? He was healthy.
Yeah,
he's healthy. He could play.
He could have. He could have.
He could have played, man.
Wait. They could have dressed him this game?
Yes, he was healthy.
So this is a coach's decision.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow. That's nothing but, like G said, Murphy's Law. I mean, anything that could have gone wrong, went wrong, and just being arrogant. Because to me, all that is arrogance, not having him at least suit up for the damn game. You know what I'm saying? Why not? So, I mean, and the fact that he traveled with the team too. I'm like, shit, if he ain't gonna play, man, just leave his ass at home. What?
Oh man, I didn't know he was healthy scratch. Like, don't suit up. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, he was good to go, man, and that was sad to me. But that's arrogance. You know what I mean? Like, we got our guy. Forget you. You're in our rear view. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they thought they had the guy. Shit, they're gonna have to keep that other guy now.
And to what's it called? To add on to that, it's funny, like their star safety, Jimmy Ward. After it's funny, I think I'm looking at it now. It said after the game against the Chiefs, he went up to Kyle Shanahan because he's a safety. He plays strong safety, but Kyle Shanahan had him playing a lot of nickel, and he was like, he went up to Kyle. He was like, "Oh, I don't want to play nickel anymore. I want to go back to my." As they were getting more healthy, he was like, "Can I go back to my natural position, play strong safety?" Since they have like their defense getting back healthy and stuff. And Kyle Shanahan simply said, "He's like, fuck that. Do you want to ride the bench for the rest of the season?" Like, damn, bro. Like that. Like as a player who's looking at a head coach like that, it's like, damn, bro. Like, now I see why. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy sitting there laughing on the sideline. Players are over there getting mad. George Kittle, he said, honestly, if you look on the sideline, George Kittle was the only one trying to ramp up everybody, trying to bring everybody together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that team is on the verge of, if things don't switch around, whether that be coaching or whatever, like just mentality wise, that team's gonna go on the decline because I've heard more often like that some players who used to play for the Niners, like Kyle Shanahan, he is very selective on who he likes. He plays favoritism. You know what I mean?
Mm. I heard somebody he got smashed by a couple of local writers. Shanahan did like smashed.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, just because they talk about the way he plays in big games. He goes very, very conservative. And it was like, and his play calling literally got every last one of his quarterbacks hurt.
Yeah.
From the blocking schemes and the things that he does. And it was like he got literally all of them hurt. So
kind of like his father did Robert Griffin, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, like father, like son, huh?
That man made Terrell Davis running in for a touchdown when he couldn't see straight, man. Come on.
Oh, I know. No, he put him in as a decoy.
Oh, man, yeah. He still couldn't see. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Man, come on, man.
He's like, that is still cold, man. Go in there anyway.
Cold,
I know you're seeing stars, but hey, man, guess what else? Shit. Brock Purdy, he's having Tommy John surgery, so he's going to be out all next year.
Woo!
So
Trey Lance for the win, huh?
Trey Lance, and then who's your backup? You know,
Jimmy G fucker. I'm gonna go to the Titans. Man.
Gonna go somewhere. Shit, he might be suiting up for y'all.
We don't want him
might be.
I mean, it's a probability. It is a probability.
Yeah.
Just from the familiarity.
That's not an upgrade.
It's a real option.
He just might.
But that's not an upgrade. We don't want him. Not an upgrade.
It's only one upgrade from the market. Yeah, it's only one. I mean, if you drink, actually, to me, it's an even swap. If you do Derek for Jimmy, Derek is more durable. But when it comes to decision making and playmaking ability, Jimmy ain't far.
Yeah, Jimmy may be a little better. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna break this other game down, and then we're gonna roll on into that. Because we got to talk a little bit about Derek Carr, Kellen Moore, DeMeco Ryans. We get into that. So next game up. Bengals versus the Chiefs. Chiefs pulled it out 23-20. A lot of controversy on the calls, things of that nature. Architect, start us off on that game, man. What was your takeaways?
Well, first off, I want to say I feel like I was wrong last year when I said something about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Because I didn't see Joe Burrow coming in and doing the things that he did. Now I'm looking at it as, especially with this year, Joe Burrow being 3-1 against Pat Mahomes, albeit it be the one that gets you to the bowl. Joe Burrow and Pat Mahomes, man, that is a duel for sure. Pat Mahomes doing what he's doing on a bad leg, on a bad ankle, man. Hey, more props to him. He made MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, look like a damn superstar out there against the Bengals. Because I remember him being in Green Bay, and it was like, okay, he can run fast. It was kind of like a Darius Hayward-based situation. He can run fast, but he don't want to catch the ball. But he comes to KC and he balls out, especially in this when they needed him most. All around, you know what I'm saying? Cincinnati still needs to do something with that O-line, and whoever the head is part of their medical team, they need to replace him or her, whoever it is, because man, them injuries is doing Joe Burrow a disjustice. Because man, being sacked as many times that he was, and he still almost led this team to a victory is ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? That only shows the heart that he had. Jamar chasing them boys. T. Higgins rising up while being double covered. They've been trying to double cover basically everybody. Hey man, this Cincinnati team is going to be good for a long time as long as they have Joe Burrow healthy. The KC, what's it called? 3 AFC championships in 4 years, man. That is a dynasty in the making, if not a dynasty already. You know what I'm saying? Pat Mahomes is still that man. Pat Mahomes is very much still that man. Their defense, I feel like their defense still lets them down every now and again. I feel like their defense, they still could have a few upgrades there, here and there. Chris Jones, their big star player. Frank Clark, they still made plays when they needed to. The offense still looks good. I mean, if you have Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy calling these plays, man, that's what the offense is going to look like. High powered. They're going to be able. You're not going to be able to stop them often. And but it came down to a field goal. Like pretty much every other game that they played, man. These two teams are really, if you look at it, they're one and the same. They have their dynamic playmakers. They have their people on defense who can make plays when they need to. I think going forward, this is going to be something that we're going to have to look at for, obviously, like the next 10 plus years, because these two teams right here, like they're very much 1A, 1B right now.
Okay. Can't disagree. I cannot disagree. All right, Raider Mike, what about you, man?
Like I said, they left some calls on the field in this game. But I just, like I said, elite quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL. Period. And I don't think we get too many arguments about that. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is good, but right now, Patrick Mahomes is the cream of the crop of quarterbacks. Got to give it to him. Even though he played for Kansas City, but I'm still a Patrick Mahomes fan. Only, not the Chiefs. So, I mean, what he could do and with bad ankle, and he just, like he said, he make everybody look like $1 million. I mean, because he could get that ball out there. But going back to another elite quarterback, he's a young elite quarterback, is Joe Burrow. It's only with his third year or whatever. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was this good. Getting beat like a pinata on Sunday. Still got up and got the candy. Still was throwing candy. He got his butt beat, but he never quit. He never quits. That's the kind of quarterback that every team wants. He got it all. I mean, their defense, they make stops when they have to, but they are going to be good for a while. Long as, like you said, long as Joe Burrows could stand up straight, because he can't keep getting hit like this. Because we all know what happens if you keep getting hit like this. So they got to build that offensive line and to protect this man, like Dan Marino got protected in Miami. Now
they did build it. They just all got hurt.
They got hurt. But you gotta have solid backups. You gotta kind of have a backup plan with this shit, because they got too much bad luck going on.
Yeah,
they have to draft some very good backups, because you don't know when a starter gonna go down and the quarterback getting killed. But he still got the fight in him, though. He got the dog in him, and you can't teach that. You can't coach that. It's got to be in here. It's got to be in here, and so you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's too bad that they lost. And that call was a questionable call. I think Patrick Mahomes won an Oscar for that when he got shoved out, barely touched.
The late hit.
You see how he just lunged himself, like he got pushed. And the way he fell down, I said, "Man, that fool was an Academy Award winner." I said,
"You can't underestimate when somebody is running 20 miles an hour, man, and they push you, bro, and they 6'3", 250 pounds."
200 plus.
Yeah, but
might take a.
You seen the replay though. I seen the replay. He didn't push him that hard. So now, who got pushed hard was Jalen Hurts. That was a push. That was a push, Gregory. That other one was just like a nice little tap when he got his hand on him out of bounds. Jalen Hurts got pushed with two hands.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's all I gotta say about it, man. I mean, I just think that we need better officiating. I'll say that straight up. NFL need better officiating because we can't. I know y'all want your boys in there, and they're gonna be in there who they want in there. And I believe that little clip somebody sent me talking about it scripted. Somebody sent me this clip. Yeah, y'all, one of y'all that
Arian Foster.
yeah, the Arian Foster thing in the YouTube. Come on, man. Vegas say what goes, and that's all I know. That's it.
All right. You might be on to something there with that movie script now. Red Lady, what about you?
Yeah, I don't like anything about Kansas City, but Patrick is the real deal. He just is. He is. He's smart. He's athletic. He makes the acrobatic plays. It's like really nothing he can't do out there. So it's not. And the thing is, they won it through him on a bad ankle. They didn't run the ball. What's his boy Pachenko and them? He didn't run through them. It was none of that. That was all Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
But the controversial play wasn't the push. It was the play 2 plays before that on the 3rd and 9 with 3.5 minutes left when they gave them that extra down. You still have, no one has really explained that. NFL has not explained why that was. The whole thing, so they would have had to punt the ball. It could have changed. See, that's the thing when people talk about is stuff rigged or whatever. They know how to make calls that swing the momentum. It's about momentum, and especially in something like football. You keep a drive alive and things like that, and that's what they did, and that allowed them to get it to 20. If I'm not mistaken.
What did they call that though? Because I never saw that in the game.
No, because
they ran the whole play.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm saying it was an incomplete pass 3rd night. They had the punt team on. They had the punt team coming on the field, and it was like, I don't know what happened, but like I said, they really didn't explain it.
They said that the play didn't run. They said, that play didn't count because I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, still wasn't thoroughly explained to me. That was the game changer in that game. It changed 100%. The momentum. Because if I always say that a team can grab hold of a game, and if being that they have the punt and Bengals go down and score, even if it's 3. I mean, it makes the game significantly harder. But the Bengals, it just fell a little short. With all that being said, they were right there. They were right there. Joe didn't come through this game. He had a couple of big turnovers in the game. Again, that kept Kansas City in the game. I just like everything about Joe Burrow. He's never rattled. He never looks frustrated. He don't look rattled. He don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just super even killed. And I think when you can do that, it puts a lot of faith in your teammates. And your teammates have a lot of faith in you, and it allows them to go do their job even better. And so they, like Architect said, they're going to be there for a while. That team is well put together. They're going to lose a couple of pieces here and there like everybody does. Even after this, in the offseason, they're not going to be able to keep everybody. But as long as you got a quarterback like that and you got those pieces on the outside with T. Higgins and even Tyler Boyd is another good one. He makes a lot of big plays for them.
Yep.
So they gonna, and of course Chase, but they're gonna be there for a while. But Kansas City, they're tough, man. They're a tough team to beat. They can be beat. They are not invincible. They're not like scary, like, oh, you don't want to come into a game against Kansas City. But it's just that they have the best quarterback in the game right now. And that's the X factor is him. Especially if so they gonna be tough.
I'm not gonna lie, there was one play where he landed on his ankle bad when he threw across his body. I was like, yes, Chad Haney coming in. Like I was ready. I was ready, man. I was ready for Cincinnati to take over because I thought Chad Haney was going to come. But again, you want to talk about somebody with dog in them? I mean, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes. That's why they're up there at the top.
Yes,
yep.
Yes,
Mahomes is the equalizer.
Yeah, but I would definitely believe the NFL, they do want who the hell they want in these damn games, man. Because
You think they wanted the Eagles for real?
They couldn't help that, bro. That was gonna happen.
That was a big one.
That was, but I do think they wanted the Chiefs in there, man, because there was there was like at least three questionable plays, like a block in the back on one, freaking that
That was
third and
obvious,
8,
too.
39, and then there was another play. Because I remember in the group text, I hit everybody. I was like, oh, they want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've seen when you put that in. I've seen that.
Man, and I picked the Chiefs and everything, but I'm like, man, let's do it fair and square, man. This right here, I don't know. But overall in the game, I'll just have to say, let's go beyond what I feel as far as conspiracy theory aspect. The Chiefs did what championship teams do. They find a way to win. It's all the good teams do it, whether it be the Patriots, whether it's Chiefs, and all those games the Niners won in a row, they found a way to win. It's just that way, and once you have Patrick Mahomes is really challenged this week. The world was against the Chiefs. Everybody, Burrow this, Burrow that. He's supplanting. If he wins this game, he supplants Patrick Mahomes as the best in the league. You can't argue with it. Well, it was just on. And great players, you keep poking the bear. You'll see what happens, man. When Jordan's getting old. Kobe's coming in the league. Okay.
Yeah.
Got a little something for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, any of them. You let LeBron mess around and get close to getting into the finals or something, and they go up against the Grizzlies, and, you'll see the best of them. Like the great ones, they cherish. They don't back down to big challenges, man. And Mahomes, he rose. And Burrow, like you said, he threw a couple of picks this game. Normally, he's not throwing interceptions.
He was a little rattled. He was a little rattled.
It happens. So who knows? Maybe the pressure got to him a little bit for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing that you're going to be the best, hands down, if you win this game. And, they're renaming the stadium Burrowhead.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that. You know what I'm saying? And then that mayor, when he said Burrow is Mahomes' daddy, I was like, oh, come on, man.
But you know what I'm saying? That's fair though, for real.
Yeah, I mean it is, but bro, I mean it's on the Chiefs' mind. You heard you heard Kelsey after the game. He said a quote.
He quoted The Rock. He quoted The Rock. And he from Cincinnati. Shit.
Yeah, so players, they hear everything we hear. They like to say, I turn the TV off, I don't listen to the media. Whatever. They're listening.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
sure.
Kansas City did what they're supposed to do. Next week we'll pick our winners for the game and all that.
Man, most importantly, it is the Kelsey Bowl. All right, it's not the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we got
it's the Reed Bowl. Andy Reid Bowl. Both of his former team that he coached for 14 years took to
y'all missing this. This is
the Soul Patrol. This is the Soul. This is a
75% black.
They should call it the Soul Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though.
Hey, this is the Soul Bowl.
I do like Sirianni.
Yeah, man. Like Flavor Flav said, we got a black quarterback, so step back.
Light skin versus dark skin. That's cold.
Oh,
they gonna call this one the Soul Bowl.
The age-old battle, huh?
Yes. Well, let's get into it before we get out of here. Some of the news and notes from this past week. Let's go first. Niners coach, defensive coordinator. He's out of there. Nico Ryan took that job with the Texans. He's their next head coach, and he played there 6 seasons. He's
there with JJ,
yeah, he's a Texan. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you guys think of that, man? All the Texans how they do black coaches. So,
but they hired their own though. They hired their own though.
Exactly.
They did, but all right, Raider Lady, what do you think his future is gonna be like?
I think it's gonna be bright. They gave him a 6-year contract. And that's odd. You don't get coaches don't get too many 6-year deals. I mean,
Yeah.
Gruden's 10-year deal was ridiculous. So
Yeah.
that was
to see,
ridiculous.
so to
Yeah.
They
see him
still paying
get
him.
right.
Yeah,
So
right.
so to see him get 6, I was like, okay. So that to me that showed the commitment from the organization to give him a 6-year deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means he got runway because let's call it what it is. How many games you win? 2, 3? Yeah, I
Who,
think
Lovey? He won 3.
Texans?
He won
3,
3.
right?
Yeah.
So they won 3
Yeah, he won
games,
3.
and so I'm sure he went into that like, I need some assurances too that you're gonna allow me to, because this has to be built. I mean, if you can go from worst to first, that's great. It's a rarity. It don't happen. Like, it's a rarity. What Atlanta did and all that, the Falcons did that year when they just went from worst to first and all that. It happens occasionally. You got some pieces, but they don't have no quarterback. So it's hard to do it when you absolutely don't even have a quarterback yet, and you have all these other positions that you need to get better at in particular. So I was happy to see him get the 6-year deal. Because to me, that showed the commitment from the organization. And you can't forget, this is the owner who said the players are running the asylum. The inmates are running the asylum.
Yeah.
Then you got coming off of the situation with Deshaun. So it was a lot of little dark cloud over them. So to commit to DeMeco as a black man on top of all the things that were happening, it wasn't only good PR, but it showed a commitment by giving him 6 years. So I'm happy to see that all the way around. And he's he's young and things like that. I mean, the man, I remember him on the field. That was like yesterday. So
Yeah, it wasn't even that long ago.
so for him to get that job and get that amount of time, hopefully they have patience and at least give him 4 to 6.
Yeah, he still got that smooth baby face, so he still look like
he's
still playing. Okay, all right, architect.
Yeah, big ups to DeMeco Ryans, man. I mean, like Ray already said, I mean, he only retired in 2015. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm curious to see how that's gonna look, especially with how he had the Niners defense going. I'm expecting the Texans defense to be not 32nd in the league. You know what I'm saying? All in all, but I think the Texans were smart by not only bringing in another black coach, but bringing in somebody that knows the Texans. I mean, he started his career there. I think he played 5 seasons there, 5, 6 seasons. Yeah, man. I mean, you want to talk about it. You want to talk about building that camaraderie and stuff like that. You want to talk about a player's coach. I feel like he can do that for that team. Somebody who, I'm curious to see how the offense is going to be. I'm curious to see how he's going to, who he's going to bring in on his staff and what like that, how he's going to build it. I did see something, this is very, very curious to me. JJ Watt has been big up in this man a lot since he got, even before he got confirmed the job. Like, it's like JJ Watt knew. So I'm curious to see if JJ is not going to necessarily be in a coaching aspect, but he's going to be in and around the building. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what type of like impact he's going to have on that too, because they were so close when they played together.
Didn't JJ, he left, it was bad blood when he left, didn't he?
I think he left.
Something going on.
I'm not sure, but like literally all the Texan stars do that. Even if you look at Andre Johnson, then you come back, they put him in the Ring of Honor and stuff. Now they're in the good graces or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really too worried about that, because for whatever reason, like those teams, like the Texans teams, for whatever reason, man, I feel like they were bad last year, but you can tell that they kind of reminded me of like the Lions. Not saying they're going to be a playoff team next year or anything like that. They have pieces. All you have to build around said pieces. You probably have a few bad apples that you need to get out of there. But I am very happy to see yet another black head coach. And like Raider Lady said, that 6-year contract shows commitment. So I'm really hoping they allow him to build this team up to where he wants it and how he wants it run. So that way, the Texans can actually do something. And they have a hell of a lot of cap space. So, you know what I'm saying? Big ups to him. We'll see how they make any splashes and things these coming seasons.
They can put some pieces up in there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, nothing wrong with that, Greater Mike. What do you think? Next year, Texans Super Bowl or what?
Shit, they might get some Della Reese's pieces in there. they ain't going to Super Bowl. But what I will say, I'm glad that he got the job. This 6 years is for what it's going to be. He got to rebuild that team. They got to give him time and have some patience because he's going to have to bring in the next quarterback. I know they didn't want Deshaun. They mad, Deshaun Watson burned them, but they finna have another one, black quarterback coming off in there, which is the Bryce Young, I believe so. And he's going to need time to get that team together. And he also seek some permission. The Texans did to talk to 49ers. Somebody was at one of the coaches, tight ends coaches, one of the coaches on the 49ers to be the offensive coordinator, for the offensive coordinator job. So, they always got to go reach back into where they came from to go snatch something brilliant, because you see what the coach from Miami just did. I mean, from the 49ers who went to Miami did. If Tua wouldn't have got hurt when they had them concussion, they may have beat Buffalo. Yeah. I just think that the defense will be better run by him, but the thing is going to really for them is offensive line and the quarterback, and get some other pieces around. They got Cook, but they still need another wide receiver. They got the running back. That rookie was good. He was solid. So I think he got something to work with. Not a whole lot, but he got he's going to have to get some clay and mold it up and, shape it and make the team the way he want to make it. And I think that if they have to give him time to do so, at least 4 years out of the 6, it's going to take him every bit of them 4 years.
Yeah.
I'll say 4 years, because that's just the way it is. You get Bryce Young in there, don't expect him to be Deshaun Watson. But if you have the right players, right system, you never know what can happen, how good he's gonna be, or whoever they draft. But I'm pretty for certain he coming off that board first. Off of them quarterbacks. And I don't know about that one quarterback they keep talking about, Levi.
Will Levis.
Yeah, Kentucky. Is he from Kentucky? Right?
Yeah.
They can go ahead, and that's Zach Wilson in the making. He could turn out the combine all you want. You could be the combine hero, but you're gonna be an NFL zero. I'm not big on. I'm just not big on the combine. Period. I'm not. I'm big on what you can do on the field. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that I'm congratulating him, and I'm glad we get more black coaches in here, and we still got more coming. We still need more, because we can coach. We play, we can coach, right? We can play for you, we can coach for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my big ups to him. I give him his props. I think he's gonna turn that team around, but he's just gonna need some time. That's it.
Yeah, it's gonna take time, man. But the good thing for him, usually the turnaround starts on the defense, and he knows defense. You know what I mean? The defense is easier to turn around than the offense. So I think they'll be on the right track there. I mean, their defense, although it wasn't ranked very high last year, they had moments, man. They shine every now and then. So I think he got something to work with. And that offense, the same thing. Remember, there was like a nice little 3-4 game stretch where the Texans kind of were giving teams problems. I think they actually beat somebody good. So
they beat Denver, didn't they? Beat the hell out of Denver.
And they took Kansas City to overtime.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of Denver, though. Mm-hmm. Remember they beat Denver? They beat the hell out of Denver. I was like,
yeah, they pushed the Cowboys to the limit too. So they got a little something there. They got a little something to work with. So hopefully, for his sake, man, hopefully it all works out, man. I think, like we said, we need to make that Rooney Rule count instead of interviewing coaches just to freaking pacify the rule. Let's get some of these brothers hired, man. Speaking of hiring some brothers now, we'll go opposite. We'll go Kellen Moore. Moving on from my Cowboys over to the Chargers. And, for this, I think This is messed up, man. Well, in a couple of different ways. The man has only been the second ranked offense to the Chiefs for about 2 or 3 years now. Cowboys been up there, so they've been putting points on the board. They've been stuffing the dang stat sheet with Dak, getting all these numbers. I mean, and me personally just watching the game, the Cowboys offense looked diverse, although they could get out of whack. They needed a 50-50 run pass, little mix. And they, for some reason, it's like when they ran the ball more than they passed, they had like outstanding record. For some reason, they just love throwing the ball around. So I think that was not a good thing. But kind of put this latest freaking loss onto him like it's his fault, and that's why they're moving on. Now I'm like, I disagree with that. To me, that Niners loss lays strictly on the shoulders of Dak Prescott. That was him. He missed the throws. The plays that were called, they were there for the taking. He just didn't take them. So I think it's bad. It's sad for me to see him go. Now we're going to see what the hell Mike McCarthy's about, man. He's calling the plays next year. Yeah, we are going to see, because apparently there was a power struggle in the room when it came to the Cowboys. Like they said, Mike McCarthy would have suggestions for plays, and Kellen Moore is kind of like, yeah, thank you, no thank you. Like, I got this, so we're going to see, and then as far as it may be some problems for you guys over there in the AFC West. Herbert got him a little coordinator that's going to be tossing it around and get creative with that offense. So,
but they still have the same head coach.
Yeah, they got that moron for head coach.
Ain't worried about them Chargers.
Okay. All right, Red and Mike. That's not moving the needle for you, huh?
No, I don't. I don't think it's going to matter, because the head coach is the ultimate the boss. See, that's the boss. See, he the boss. Like, so I think it is Dallas. Yeah, I don't think it was his fault, but at the same time, maybe maybe they needed some change. They may, just regardless of the fact, maybe they needed change. So that's probably why they did it. It was a power struggle between the head coach and offensive coordinator. You're not going to get rid of the head coach. That means offensive coordinator got to go. So now they got a little cocky, Gregory. Cocky. Yeah. You're too cocky. I mean, because he did have that offense up there, so you can get a little cocky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But maybe if he can get Justin Herbert out of the first round of the playoffs, or can they get to a second playoff straight? I don't think so. I'm thinking that's just the way the Chargers are. Because they let you in the game every game. Yeah, you was at my house. We the front and center. I watched that whole game when you left. You said, "Oh, this game over." I said, the Chargers let them back in.
Yep, sure did.
So I don't know. I don't think that's going to change anything. Their offense may be better, but I don't know. That doesn't make the team better, because they're going to still do what they do until they figure that part out. They got to figure that part out. But anyway, that's it.
All right. Architect, what do you think, man?
We'll see. Because honestly, they're still going to put Herbert up there next year with the top quarterbacks and whatnot. They're still going to view him as the next coming of another great quarterback, whatever. But what they say, he's still got to prove it, especially coming into an AFC who obviously the big signing in Denver. You still got KC out there who's looking to be as dominant as ever. So we'll see. With a full healthy team, right now I can't really give it too much thought, because I can only go based off of what I've seen right now, and that is a team that somewhat overachieved in my opinion. So we'll see going forward.
All right. Sounds like we got some non-believers out there. No. Raider lady, what's your take?
Yeah, Kellen, like D'Amico, I remember them playing like the other day. Even though he primarily was a backup, but I remember him in college too as well. So, but no, it's good to see. I like to see people get their little advancements and whether lateral movements, upward movements. How much is it going to help him, and how much is it going to help the Chargers? I mean, Chargers didn't have really a problem putting up points. So, so I don't know how much he's going to, elevate them per se, or elevate the play of Herbert any further than it already is. I mean, because he throws the ball, but it remains to be seen. I mean, they're gonna have some new wrinkles. That's cool. I mean, every team most of the time get new wrinkles. So, but it's a good move for him personally. I mean, for him personally, because if anything, coaches like him, Andy Reid, who are known for their offensive prowess already, that they kind of overshadow you, and that's why you look at Bieniemy looking to make a lateral move, because if he makes the lateral move to Baltimore, that's going to be solely his offense, because we know the way that Greg Roman constructed that offense. So this might be a good thing, for a blessing in disguise for Kellen to to be the scapegoat, basically, so but I mean, we'll see. I mean, it might be the next stepping stone for him, but I don't think it's going to turn San Diego into a juggernaut. I don't see it. Or San Diego, I mean the Chargers. Yep.
Same thing.
Right.
It's open the door for when they fire their head coach. They're gonna put him at head coach. Just trying to tell you.
It's a possibility. I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah, if the offense performs well, then they still.
Yeah, he's gonna be the coach. He will be the coach.
Yeah, he young, and I can see that. I can see that happening.
Yeah, speaking of that, I like how you just tossed that little Bieniemy thing out there. I just saw that today for like the first time that was a possibility. Did he interview with the Ravens?
I heard they got permission to talk to him.
Yeah.
So
that.
I hope he goes. I hope he goes.
He need to go. He need to make that move.
He does.
He need to get from up under Andy, because he's getting no credit for anything that's happening up there.
Yeah. Which is crazy, because Todd Haley got his credit up under Andy Reid, and he got a head coaching job, and
he did horrible.
And who was the other one? Doug Peterson was under him too,
Doug
right?
Peterson, yeah.
Look what he done did to Prince
Peterson
Charming.
Got a ball. Doug Peterson got him a ball.
Yeah, and look what he just did to Prince Charming.
Right.
So they don't want to give Bieniemy no credit though.
No, they don't. Hey, but I tell you, if you can go with Lamar and that run heavy, and the 3 passing routes and plays that they run,
not the 3 passing routes.
3. I can take 3. I'm telling you,
the shot Bateman got to be healthy.
He said he got to go around and hit you the slant. That's it.
Hey, straight up. Hey, he good at it, but no, if he can help him develop though, for real, help him be an all-around better player.
But Andy Reid called the plays anyway, don't he?
And it's up for
he said the enemy did, right?
Yeah,
he said the enemy, but he gets no credit. He gets no credit.
Yeah, he himself, he said the enemy, but you can't tell me Andy ain't contemplating. Andy be like this during the game.
right. So he's either posturing or
there's something going on. It's like he must be. Maybe it's a mix. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking that, right.
It's like,
but I think that year he said he called the plays. I think he called that year they won the Super Bowl. I think he actually did lean on the enemy most of the time.
Yeah, maybe Andy was like, "Hey, man, we need some wizardry. Man, let me get a couple in there."
Right.
No mistake. The enemy he was a running back, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Colorado.
He went to Colorado. Okay.
Colorado Buffaloes.
So he go over there and help Deion. Shit.
Hey,
yeah.
Yeah, he could now. He could get a. I think he can get a college job right in like that. They'll hire.
Yeah, I think so too. Shoot,
that's not a bad gig.
They pay just as much as NFL.
Okay, and you are the king of the kingdom at them universities. Come on,
exactly.
The coach don't hire them, but they're not.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so our last topic for the night.
Yeah, I know who it is.
There it is. Oh, Derek Carr. What y'all gonna do, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna kick on back and I'm gonna listen, and we'll go young man first, and then we'll go to the wins with the Raiders in the name. Okay,
No, but
architect.
you forgot one
Absolutely.
person though, Greg.
What's that?
There was one other coach hired.
I didn't forget. If you guys have it, that's all I wrote down. You know.
Oh,
give it
Sean
to
Payton,
me.
right?
Oh, Sean.
We
Oh,
talking about
Jonathan.
To Denver. Yeah, to
To
Denver.
Denver.
It's a lot to get him.
Yeah.
Well, I say I didn't forget. I just didn't put it down, man.
Ain't
So,
nobody
good
stunning
catch.
Sean.
Good
Everybody
catch.
stun
What
him.
what do y'all make of that? I personally, I think it's just a money grab. So I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna work.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be good. I think it'll be good for Russell Wilson. He have a real coach versus what he just had. And I think they still gonna be in the cellar in the division. At
It's
least
gonna-
it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take him some time to get that team right. But if anybody can get that team right, I think he could.
It's going to be interesting to me because of the personalities, and I mean it from the standpoint that Sean Payton is of a Belichick, Bill Parcells, Bill Parcells tree. You know what I'm saying? And so they not with that divaness.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
Russell
so,
can't have his own offense. He can't have 12 parking spaces.
and so he and
You
you
know
know
what I'm
you're a
saying?
celebrity,
Take the
you're a
golf
part-time
from him.
celebrity. It's going to be interesting. It might be what he needs to check himself. It
Yeah.
might just be, you know. So
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's a good fit because you're gonna take the dressing room from him. You're gonna take parking spaces.
right. Which that what probably needs to happen for you to gain some respect in our locker room for your teammates.
Yeah.
You're gonna take the theme music that he walk around with when he walk around.
So,
Say,
I mean, from that standpoint, good for Russell because I like Russell Wilson. I actually do. I like him. I like him as a quarterback. I was hoping we swapped, but they took Derek and we got Russ. But so with that being said, good hire for them. We still we own the Denver Broncos right now. That's one thing we can hang our hat on. We own it.
So we've been beating them like the last 6 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything on that architect?
I'm not really, man. I'm ready to talk about my team a little bit. Man.
That's right.
I know. Me neither. Me personally, I wonder if it's not too far gone as far as Russ, because he kind of revealed who he is as far as his teammates are concerned. I'm like, and then if he conform and go into full Sean Payton mode and, have the Sean Payton Russell relationship be like Breeze and Payton, and then they look at him like, he really is phony, man. You know what I mean? He is like this.
Yeah.
Now he like this. So it is going to be interesting. And Sean Payton is very, very strong personality, man. He believes what he believes, and he wants it done his way, and we shall see. We gonna see.
Yeah.
Moving right along, like I said, again, the Raiders. Good old Derek Carr. Man, the marriage is over. I know I was going to start with architect on this, but let me start with Raider Mike, man. You was the one, you really married to Derek. You love that dude. So how are you feeling about this?
It's like this is business, but I hate to see him go because I just felt like it's his first year in this offense that he should have got another chance. But then when I started thinking about it, through the years, when he was at his best, when Jack Del Rio was here, he was at the status of an elite young quarterback in 2016, broke his leg, lost his confidence, and then he never got, the stats got better, but he never got, I thought he was going to do it. I really was pulling for him to get to where I thought he was going to get to, because when he was on that ESPN cover, I said, that's bad luck. Should never put him on there. Broke his leg. You remember when they had the ESPN, the magazine, Derek Carr was on there with the little towel around there. He was killing people that year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have that magazine somewhere, and I'm gonna keep that I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna keep it because that's when he was at his best. Yeah, they don't even have a magazine no more. But I hate to see him go. I really like Derek Carr because he gave it, poured his heart and soul into the team. But unfortunately, the wins didn't add up the way they should have. And, you know, it wasn't all his fault. It was defense. It was a number of defenses, coaches, and him. He just didn't get it done. And this year, and if he would have had gotten it done, we'd made the playoffs. We wouldn't be talking now. But like I said, I mean, he gonna be gone, and maybe he go play for the Jets, go play somewhere where he can play with a good team, and then he can just prove everybody wrong. I'm just hoping he does. I'm hoping that leaving, that he plays better somewhere else and proves the organization wrong for letting him go. Maybe he needed maybe he needed a new home. Maybe he needed some new, maybe he just needed some new tennis shoes. Shit. Maybe them old shoes had holes in the bottom. Shit. I don't know, but I wish him well though. I mean, I could see him going to the Jets or Tennessee. Those two teams he can go to and turn those teams into playoff team. They got everything else. He ain't gonna lose too many games for you. So if you have a good defense, and that's what I'm saying, I want to see Derek Carr with a team with a good defense. Maybe even the Washington Redskins. Let's just throw that in there. You go to the Washington Redskins where they got the dominant defense and they can run the football and they got receivers, got a defense. I think he could do some things with that. I'm talking about with a real defense. We haven't hit since he's played for us for 9 years. He has not had a real defense. That year we made the playoffs. That defense was good, but it was only good. We stopped people when we needed to. We didn't stop them all the time. I'm talking about a dominant defense. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing him go to one of those three teams. I just thought about the Redskins too, but I don't know if he want to go way over there. But as far as the Jets and the Titans and maybe even the Colts, you go to Colts, he gonna get beat up because they ain't really together right now. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I wish him well, and I just hope he just proves everybody wrong. So that's all I mean, this is a business and we can't take it too personal. That's all.
I can dig it. What about you, Red Lady?
Yes. 3 years too late as far as I'm concerned when it comes to moving on from Derek Carr. Seriously, no. He doesn't have it. And when I mean that he doesn't have it, I'm talking about his mental wherewithal. And he was changed after that injury. And to me, he was never the same. And I mean mentally, he played for self-preservation, meaning that I've seen too many plays where he throws the ball away when you got to keep a play alive. There's those critical turnovers in the middle course of a game. And I think that's what was actually exposed heavily during this season and his ability to adjust. And I'm just talking about his play, not the coach, not the scheme. I'm talking about, to me, the anticipation of playing with Hunter and all those weapons. He felt the pressure, and that's like I've been saying it since week one. I see it in his eyes, and it permeated through him, and it showed in his play. And so what I'm saying is the breakup, it was necessary. This organization needs to move on, and hopefully he can go ahead and do his thing. But I think with this, and I'm going to speak on it because I listen to the GM a lot. I like Dave Ziegler a lot. I listen to him. I mean, they know what they want. And to me, they're not stepping off of that, meaning that you have to have a particular type of, I can tell that they have a mold of a type of player that they want from head to toe, meaning from the mentality, how they physically prepare and the things they do in practice and how it translates to the game. Because I know a lot of practice warriors. Yeah. I know people who can do shit in practice, but when it's time, when the lights come on and in the crucial points, they either shit the bed or they disappear. And Derek has that trait in him, and I've seen it for a long time. There's a reason he's a coach killer. And I said that in a Raiders thread and got a whole bunch of people mad. To me, he's a coach killer because the year that Del Rio took that team to 12-4, next year regression 6-10. Same team. You know what I'm saying? And same thing happened this year. and if you want to say it's because of the quarterback or the rotation of coaches, I give that's a percentage. That is a percentage of the equation. But as the quarterback, you are 50% of that equation. To me, it's 50% player, 25% coaching, and 25% organization. And so from my standpoint, I'm glad it's happening. To me, it was still a couple of years too late when he was at his peak, when he could have more value. But hopefully they can trade him. I understand why they're not allowing him to speak, because they don't want to go. They don't want him to have a gauge of what his market value is. So I understand that chess move that they're doing. Hopefully, they can get something for him. They initiate all the talks and everything, and then they get a plan together and say, do you want it or do you not want it? Because I'm telling you, I'm just speculating. There might be less teams vying for him who are willing to pay a particular number for Derek. I think that number it's not like 5 teams. I think it's like 3. So will those 3 teams want to battle against each other, or they want to get a deal done? And so I'm looking forward to seeing the whole thing, because baby, it's chess. It's chess, and I want to see how these coaches accumulate capital. I'm happy. I'm very excited as a Raider fan to see what this new regime does. And just before I stop, I think they have more on a leash than people giving this regime credit for. The people think they're going to be there on the hot seat next year. I don't think so. I think Mark is like, they have to have stability. They had to bring in, come on, real quick. Let me be real quick with this. They hadn't had a real hierarchy structural in that organization for like 30, 40 years. Al and his crew used to run everything. And after that, he brought in McKenzie. They started it. But then after that, he wanted to do the splash with Gruden, and he had all that, and he fucked up all that draft capital. Players did not pan out. It is what it is. But this organization, this head coach and this GM, they have a prototype. They got a blueprint. And I'm like, and I think Marks wants to see it out. So I'm looking forward to it. It was to me, it was time. And so I'm happy as a Raider fan.
I hope I hope the blueprint ain't for losing.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you wrap it up, Architect. I'm gonna be real brief with mine. I think it's about time too. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't see what Raider Mike sees in Derek Carr. You know, I mean, to me, he's a guy. I don't think there's nothing special about him, man. I mean, he's an okay quarterback. You know what I mean? And
kind of like him and Dak.
He's not the type of quarterback that's gonna move the needle anywhere he goes. Therefore, I think the rest of his career, he's gonna be a guy that's gonna end up, because there's some more teams that actually need quarterbacks or could be in the market for a quarterback, that I can see him playing for the Falcons, because I don't think, it's nothing special there. They just need a guy. The Bucks, they need somebody next year. The Saints, they may need a quarterback if they don't give Jameis the job. You said the Colts, Panthers, so the whole NFC South, he could end up somewhere there where he's just going to be a quarterback in the league.
Houston.
Yeah.
Houston.
Texas.
It ain't out of the realm.
Yeah. I mean, there's places where he's going to land. I can't see him ever making a Pro Bowl again. I can't see him being the reason a team goes to the playoffs. He just, man, after something happened to him, like Raider Lady said, after that leg got broke, man, I never saw the same guy again.
Self-preservation.
Like, I saw him on the trajectory before that where I was just like, oh, okay, he got something here. He came back. I've never seen that guy again. So good luck to him, though, man. I think he's a good guy. I wouldn't want him to be my quarterback because, shit, I would get more of the same. To me, he's Dak Prescott, freaking Kirk Cousins,
Hill.
Those
people.
Are just, they're guys. They're good, they're serviceable, but they're just guys. They're not that guy. So, hey, more power to him, man. Hopefully it pans out for him. What do you say, Architect?
I think Derek Carr was the perfect guy for the situation that he was in. I don't think anybody else could have.
Can't hear you, man.
I think Derek Carr was the perfect man for the situation that he was in. All them changing coaches, there needed to be a constant somewhere, and Derek Carr was that. I'm giving him his flowers for that. I agree with everything you said. I agree with everything Raider Lady said as far as since the 2016 season, he has not looked the same. 100%, he has not been that MVP caliber type of guy. And you know what that really reminds me of? Teddy Bridgewater when he tore his ACL. Before Teddy Bridgewater tore his ACL, they was like he was in the MVP conversation.
True.
You know what I'm saying? He was very much looking to be like one of those next top quarterbacks, not necessarily a top 2 guy, top 5 guy, but he was going to be one of those guys that you talked about for years and years. But once you got that injury, after especially, let's just say that he's never been that injured before, whatever, something changed. Whether that be him mentally, coach is not believing in him, whatever you want to call it, wherever people want to point the blame, something changed within him, and everybody saw it. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad that we're moving on, not only just for us as Raiders fans or as the Raiders organization, but also for him, because he also needs to change the scenery. I'm sure he's tired of all the chaos and all the bullshit that he's been through in his 9-10-year career. You know what I'm saying? I also like the fact that he said he has no plan on extending his his trigger date on his contract. Get your money, man. They wanted to extend you, by all means, get all the money you can. Because I doubt he's not going to get that much money again. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I think it was somewhat of a plot within the NFL somewhere. If we want to talk about a script of him making the Pro Bowl, shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to up his value that much more. I think Derek Carr will be a feasible bridge quarterback for some organization. You know what I'm saying? Really realistically right now, I'm looking at Washington because they have all the pieces and he can just kind of plug and play. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, I think right now, like Raider Lady said, they're trying to build a culture. And no other head coach has came in and been like, okay, I'm going to build exactly what I want. John Gruden came in. He was like, okay, this is kind of what they had, and I'm going to deal with what they have. Even Del Rio, because I don't think it was Del Rio that drafted Carr. I think
Dennis Allen drafted Carr.
Dennis Allen?
Dennis Allen.
McKenzie. Yeah, he came under
McKenzie. Yeah, so McKenzie.
That was under McKenzie, but Dennis,
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if Jack Del Rio was really like all in on Derek Carr. I don't know. We don't know. It's whatever. But at the end of the day, one constant thing has been since he got injured, the Raiders are going to trade Derek Carr, and no one has yet to pull the trigger. Now that somebody is pulling said trigger, sometimes you got to be the villain. Yes, there's loyalty. We love our players to play for us throughout the entire career. But in the reality, it just don't work like that for everybody. It just don't. You know what I'm saying? Even Tom Brady went to the damn Bucs. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, a change of scenery is good. My main concern, honestly, is the damn defense. I don't give a damn. Like, look, we can bring in somebody who will learn the system, whether that be a veteran in Aaron Rodgers, whether we draft somebody, you know what I'm saying, CJ Stroud, or even if we just keep Jarrett Stidham and bring in somebody else. Like, we have somebody who, at all three phases, we're going to have somebody who's either capable, knows, or we can bring up. You know what I'm saying? But the main concern, honestly, is the defense. For me, our DBs are trash. Like, it's really only Max Crosby out there. Like, they need to build around that. I get it. Josh McDaniels is an offensive guy. But in order to go deep into the playoffs, as we've seen, your defense needs to clutch up. Your defense needs to be able to make those plays. Your defense has to stand out. So, as a Raiders fan, yeah, sad Derek Carr's leaving, but it's time for a new beginning. You know what I'm saying? Even if Phoenix burns and starts anew, you know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just time. It's time.
Can we get a D tackle though? It's been so long.
Can we get a real middle linebacker?
D tackle. Those two positions. It's been like 15 years, like real talk.
You know, man, like,
everybody like to talk about the quarterback carousel before Derek. How about the D tackle and the last linebacker, middle linebacker, who is ferocious? Those two tandems to me is the thing that makes a defense go.
Oh, not Rolando McClain.
You know,
He
no.
was body slamming
To me,
folks.
those two positions, the D tackle and middle linebacker, make a defense. I
no,
think you go
we need-
there and you go out. I think that's how you
Yeah.
build it. You build it from the tackle to the linebackers and out.
We
Yeah.
need another
You know what
Daryl. We need another Daryl Russell before he start getting in trouble.
That's the last one. When was Darrell Russell? When we drafted him, 1994?
He was a dog.
That was before I
The
was
only
even
thing
taught.
Man,
about
That's
him
crazy.
was getting in trouble. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when he hit up that field, he was double teamed
It's been a long
constantly,
time. We need a disruptor up front and in the middle.
and he
Yes,
was one.
indeed. Yes, indeed. So
Yeah,
hopefully
right.
in this draft, y'all can do a little something, you know what I mean? But until then, until next week, we about to sign off. Let everybody get their sign-off tag going.
It's your boy Raider Mike in the silver and black. Hopefully next year. We keep saying all these years. We'll be back.
Raider Lady signing out. New regime, new look, new feel. Let's go. I'm all here for it.
Same pain.
It's the Young Architect, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, man. Our season's over, but you know, like I've been saying, like Raider fans been saying since I was a child. There's always next year.
That's
All
right.
the Niners fans is on the couch with us with the popcorn and the
Hey,
soda.
Absolutely.
and next week we'll be making our Super Bowl predictions, coming on in and trying to break it down to the very last compound.
All right.
Till then, remember everyone, like, share, subscribe, and till next